everybody. Vicki Fitch here, your direct sales expert, coming to you live from sunny Southern California. And yes, things are a little goofy on this side of the broadcast. So I appreciate you guys being here and accepting our technical difficulties because, you know, this is a tech world we're in. So I'm super excited. You guys know every Wednesday night I do Vicki Fitch Live, a fresh perspective. And this is AR and VR month. And if you guys don't know what that is, you might have seen our broadcast last week, but AR is augmented reality and VR is virtual reality. And I have a superstar guest. Seriously, this woman, like, she blows me away. I'm just going to read her bio because it's like way too impressive, right? Cathy is an Emmy-nominated communicator turned virtual reality and augmented reality speaker and futuristic content creator. Don't you love the sound of that, right? Futuristic content creator. She's the Chief Communications and Content Officer for Future Lighthouse, one of the world's top VR studios. They are creating original and branded VR narrative and fiction. She's also the co-founder of Latinos in VR and AR and one of the women leading the virtual revolution. Don't you love hearing that? I know you boys might get a little jealous, but us girls, we say, yeah, we like to hear women leading revolutions. Yes, we do. She's been named by I'm not saying that right, I have no idea. We'll have her decipher that, as a leading augmented reality influencer, and also by NBC News as one of the top Latino women in VR. She's a pioneer in immersive marketing and is a VR Scout contributor. Hackl is an Emmy-nominated communicator who spent more than 12 years working in public relations, social media, marketing, and journalism with CNN, ABC News, Discovery Communicate. Like, do I need to go on? My gosh, like I just want to start bowing right here. She is a rock star, and recently she did a TED Talk. So I just have to tell you, I'm super excited about introducing my guest, Miss Cathy Hackl. Cathy! Well, wait till Randall gets you on here. Hold on a minute. He's bringing you on. We got a little tech glitch. It's just we're a little behind.
All good. I'm waiting.
We'll pretend you're here. I'm gonna dance a little for the people till we get you involved. Oh, there she is.
Woo! There we go.
Cathy, I am so excited to have you here. I mean, literally, I have been like jumping out of my chair all day going, I can't wait to hear her. And I know you're sick, so we're going to try and make it brief. And I'll try and ask you questions where you can nod. And
yeah, no. Yeah, so guys, anyone that's watching, sorry if I cough. Sorry if I have a hoarse voice every once in a while. It's just, I'm literally getting over a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
And you have 3 kids. And so not only are you, taking care of business, taking care of TED Talks, taking care of people, being sick yourself. I mean, I was amazed that you even made it today. So let me just say thank you again from the bottom of my heart for stepping up and doing, what we call that suck it up buttercup thing.
Yeah. A promise is a promise, though. That's my thing. Like, it's on my schedule. Right. Unless I'm like at the hospital, then right. I will show.
Right. Unless we have like emergencies, right? Because I'm not dissing you boys, but we are girls. Okay. Girls, you're right. Our words are bomb. When we say we're going to be there, we're going to be there. And we're going to back the girls up. Right.
Well, just last week, like a week ago, I went to the ER from about 3:30 till 6:30 a.m. My son. And then I had to come home, try to get 2 hours of rest, and then fly out to Atlanta for speaking gig. So it's, you just got to do it. Just got to do it.
Well, it kind of brings up a little bit where we're going to kind of weave some stuff in today, but, being a mom and being in business, can be a little bit tricky. And so I would love to know, do you have some tips? I know you haven't done it perfect because none of us have, but, you've done a good job. I remember watching you walk around pregnant and dealing with that. And, tell us some tips. What do you do as a working mom that's obviously a rock star in the community? What do you do to balance those things?
Well, I don't hide that I work from home.
Right.
So, if the little kid in the yellow shirt and the walker.
Did you see that?
I loved it. I was like, you know what? I work from home. And sorry, I'm a mom. I work from home. Like, this is it. Like,
I don't think he felt the same way. I do.
No, he was like, oh my gosh.
Right? Oh my gosh. So, there was a serious discussion going on after that. I mean, did you see the way she tried to close the door from the ground? If you guys, those of you guys who are on the podcast, remember, first of all, I hope you guys will take a minute to come watch let me make sure I got the episode 32 of Vicki Fitch Live, a fresh perspective with Miss Cathy Hackl, because this is going to be a great episode. And we're going to try and reference some of the things that we're talking about. And if Cathy's nodding yes and no, I'm going to actually verbalize that. So you guys listening as you're driving down the road or whatever you're doing, actually know what's happening. But you got to see this lady. First of all, she's adorable. Second of all, she's got a really cute little office going on behind behind her with some big VR letters, which I love. And we want to give you that visual so you understand that you're being embraced by the Hackleness. That's what I'm going to call it. Hackleness, right?
And you've got a double. Oh, hold on. This is me in 3D.
Uh-huh. Oh, no. Oh my gosh, where did you get that? That's
I got it in New York back in like November of last year. Hold on, let me try to. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
So basically, you go into this huge thing, and they do a 3D scan of you with a gazillion photos, and then it's literally you. Like anyone that comes to my office is like, wow, that doll looks a lot like you. Like it's me.
I have my mouth hanging open. That is uber cool, and your butt's cute too, girl. I didn't even realize. Well, we got.
So, I mean, it was super cool. It's called Doob.
Doob, like D-U-B-E?
D-O-O-B.
Oh, Doob.
So actually, the hashtag when you get one is getting duped. You got duped.
I love that. All right, I have got to do that. Is it only in New York? Do you know?
No, New York, San Francisco, LA. There's 2 in New York. There's San Francisco, LA, and I think there's London. There's a few other places, but I went end of last year.
I live in LA. I think I have a trip I need to totally like live stream.
And you can do it with your family. Like you can go in there and do it with your family or your pet. It's super cool.
That is fantastic. So I want to say hi to some people here. I see Ashley Wilkinson's in the house, Jamie, Melanie, Matthew, Vic, Lisa, Mariette. Oh, Mariette, I haven't seen you forever, girl. Adam, Nally, Doc Muscles in the house. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for being here. Make sure you share out this broadcast. We are going to give you a chance to earn a free VR headset. Show them the goods, Cathy. Whoop, whoop. Check that out, you guys. Move it over. Yes, you're going to have to move it over a little bit more, a little more. There you go, right there. Cathy has a VR headset that she's going to be giving away today. And I know you guys want to know. Oh, Joel Comm has a dupe too. Oh,
yes, he got duped earlier this year.
Oh my God. See,
I was the first one to get duped. So whatever.
I'm dupeless. Oh, you're the first. Cathy.
I got duped before Robert Scoble, y'all.
Woo! Okay, see, I told you we got the girl in the house that she's the rock star. Now, as you guys let me know, is the broadcast still live? Because it looked frozen. Okay, good, right? I think we're still good. Okay, so we want to make a note of that you were duped before Robert Scoble, before Joel Comm. The girl got it first. I'm just saying.
Of course, we do our homework.
Right? That is who we are. That's what we do. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you a sneak peek. You do have to be here to the end, but we're going to be using Tweet Draw as an opportunity for you to win that VR headset today, and you do have to be present to win. So those of you guys listening on the podcast, I really apologize that you can't, but you will get some great information, and you can always join in the fun on other broadcasts. Just make sure you show up Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific here on Facebook Live at facebook.com/Vicki Fitch 1, or of course you can always download later, but if you want to get in those live giveaways, you got to be there. Okay, so our hashtag, just so you guys know, is Cathy H, C-A-T-H-Y, the letter H for her last name, and then the initials VR, right? Cathy H VR. Hashtag that and tweet out, grab this broadcast and share it out on Twitter. We have to share it out on Twitter because that's where Tweet Draw works from. And then Miss Cheval's in the house. Abe and Tina are here. And I don't know what that's. Those are your friends, Stacy Lynn's friends are here. Abe and Tina, you're in the house. Rock stars, appreciate you being here. Candy's in the house. And anyway, they're asking. Matthew wants to know if it will do on iOS and Android, or is it just?
It's universal. This one's a universal one.
She's a girl. She totally knew she had, and she knows I'm team Android, so she wouldn't want to diss my own peeps, right?
Well, this is the funny part because I do work in virtual reality. Mm-hmm. So I've got my iPhone, and I have a Samsung phone. So I have to have both because virtual reality is very Android heavy.
Wow, is it? See, so Team Android has a little advantage in one area that over iOS.
Until Apple comes out with something. I know you're talking about Scoble, I think next week.
Yeah. 2 weeks, because next week is Social Media Marketing World.
Oh yeah.
Are you going to be there?
Yes, I'm speaking.
Kathy! Oh, I get to give you a big hug when we're there.
And I'm bringing my HoloLens.
Oh my God!
You need to use the HoloLens. Yeah.
Kathy, you teach me, girl. You teach.
I'm bringing my HoloLens.
Do you want? Okay, I just want to get myself. Okay, here we go. True confessions. I want to get myself a cool leather outfit, put that on, and get duped. That's what I want.
Do it. Let's do it.
Kathy, I do have some leather pants. I should totally
do it. I mean, this is right. So, but I'll be there. I'm speaking on Facebook. I'm moderating a panel with brands that are using Facebook Live.
Okay.
Hopefully here they'll give me a chance to talk about social VR and how virtual reality and augmented reality are changing social media.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to get a chance for you to dive into that today, and hopefully people will continue to build on those pieces that, that you're going to deliver. So let's say hi to a couple more people here. Let's say Adam's saying that there's a 5 or 6 second audio delay. Adam, is everybody experiencing that? Or is anybody else experiencing that? Is it just an Adam Nally problem? Doc Muscles has issues sometimes. We love him, man, but he has issues. No, just kidding, Adam. It's all that extra energy you have from the ketones that maybe it's making you go faster. Let's see. Matthew's calling a Periscope pillow. I don't know what that means. Let's see. Anybody else? Put one in the chat box if you guys are experiencing any kind of delay, and otherwise we're just going to keep on talking, and you guys will have to just close your eyes and absorb the loveliness of what we got going on here, right? Okay, so it has delays. Okay, well, Candy, we are so sorry. Tarlise Trainer in the house. Hey, Tarlise, it's good to see you, girl. So, Cathy, let's usually ask a question of the day, and just kind of pick something that kind of starts finding out. So, just tell me what your first experience. No, actually, Cathy, I'm going to go deep. What's your most embarrassing experience with VR?
Most embarrassing experience? I don't know.
I've only had one, but I bet me rocking out like this with my glasses on, thinking I'm at a rock concert, was probably fairly.
Well, I mean, I'm not really embarrassed by it, but I went to a restaurant not too long ago, and I brought my HoloLens, and I was showing my friends, and people at the restaurant were like,
"Who's that girl?"
Because you're wearing this headset and you're going like this, you're doing all these motions because I'm interacting with a hologram. And they don't see it. Only the person that's wearing it sees it. But before, I had to place the holograms in different parts of the restaurant. So people were like, "What is this lady doing?" And I wasn't embarrassed by it because I really do not care.
Right.
So,
but that you have to step out a little, where people are going to look at you weird, and you have to just be ready for it, right? And just I'm cool, right?
I love this technology so much that I don't think anything embarrasses me about it.
Right. Well, you don't get embarrassed very easily anyway, do you?
No. I would say maybe not the most embarrassing experience, but the most traumatic.
Okay, traumatic is good.
Traumatic. I had gone to a book launch in social VR, in one of the social VR platforms, and it was my first time in that social VR platform. My avatar, normal avatar with a cardigan, nothing sexy.
Right.
Nothing sexy.
Right.
And when I was in there, I had what I presumed is a man come up to me and start doing this hand motion.
Tacky.
And I was like, wait a second. Buddy, first of all, he was really close. And then he started doing that hand motion. And I was like, did I just get sexually harassed in virtual reality?
Did I just get molested?
Seriously, it was kind of like one of those things where I know it's virtual reality.
Sure.
But it felt wrong. It felt like, it took me a second to process, and I was like, did this just happen?
Right.
But I realized that I said, that's one of the reasons that I love being a woman in VR, because I feel it's also my mission to make sure that there's a lot of testing done, and that when we, that we're all going to feel safe in social VR. And there's always going to be trolls. I understand that.
Right.
But we have to make it safer. So
yeah. Well, that's a good point too, is that, there's an identity that we, it just because they're not there. Now here's a great example. And Vicki Hankey's in the house. Welcome, Vicki. And Candy says she loves VR simulating driving racing. Yeah. Right? In my black leather with my
it's so much fun. I've done the F1, I've done the roller coaster ones. I've done some amazing stuff with the swing, when you're in the swing.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
I'm feeling a little bit jealous right now. I'm going to be honest. I'm feeling a little jelly. A little hashtag jelly over here. Okay. So, but we know that, the augmented, people are asking, actually, let you give them the definition in between virtual reality and augmented reality, because we do have some new viewers that might not have been here last week and that kind of stuff. So would you be happy to do that for us?
Yeah, and I'll make it very simple. There's many ways to define this, but
sure.
Virtual reality is usually a fully immersive experience, which is completely digital, whether it's 360 video or it is fully digital. But normally you engage with virtual reality wearing a headset, okay? So you put this on and you're blocking the real world, okay? So that's a situation where you're in a virtual reality kind of space. It's changing and it's evolving, but normally that's how it works. Augmented reality, which a lot of people have already experienced because they play Pokemon Go or because they've used the lenses in Snapchat, as simple as that.
Right.
When you have the real world, but you have a digital overlay. So you know how you would point your phone and the Pokemon would be there. Pokemon's not there, but it's a digital overlay.
Right.
And then mixed reality, which is really the most exciting thing that's coming, and the combination of all these technologies is when you're actually going to be able to interact with that digital element.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to kind of pull it. You'll be able to do more stuff. Right now, you can do some of that with the HoloLens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we're going to get to that point where eventually we're going to be able to feel, because it's going to be there's going to be haptics, it's going to be volumetric. So just amazing stuff that's coming.
Right. Your mind can get blown. It's like, oh, wait, what? Like, 4D, when they're talking about 4D with, sense and stuff. Now you're talking about like we can literally, touch them. It's like crazy. And I know that Tony Robbins, in Australia, he's a hologram, and he actually goes up and communicates with people. And Matthew Vick is asking about mixed reality. Matthew, clarify your question so we can do that. Shannon Marshall in the house, welcome. I see Tarly's Trainer. You guys, again, thanks for being here. And if you haven't already, share this out, because like I said, we do have a chance. You guys can win a VR headset from Miss Cathy Hackl from Cathy Hackl Consulting. Again, this woman is a plethora of information, if I can throw out a $5 word for a minute, because I'm just so impressed with her. Frank Salas in the house, welcome, Frank. That I know that one time when I think I was in a wheelchair for 3.5 years, Cathy, so I had a lot of.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was a rough time, and there was this one certain part of it where I couldn't sleep. They were doing these different treatments, and I was having really trouble sleeping, and they gave me some a pill to sleep, but I don't remember what it's called. One of those, Ambien, I think it was.
Yeah.
Okay, just like when you're talking about in a virtual reality, I felt like I had been through a traumatic experience. I understand that I wasn't, I really do, but I wanted to report it to the police when I woke up, because I was traumatized. So VR, I'm not saying VR is traumatizing. I'm saying it has the immersive effect, just like you believe it's happening, because virtually it is happening to you.
To your brain and to your eyes.
Right.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And after you take the headset off, usually you have a very good recollection of what you just experienced.
Uh-huh.
But that being said, if you look at it from that negative perspective, there are negative things, but from a very positive perspective, I'll give you a few examples. So I'm actually on the board of a nonprofit called Virtual Relief.
Okay.
And what Virtual Relief does is brings virtual reality to patients in hospital.
It does what? I'm sorry, could you say that again?
We bring virtual reality experiences to people in hospitals.
That's so cool, Cathy.
So, we don't do this one yet, but there's one that is for children who are burn victims. So at the moment when they're changing their bandages, which is a very, very, very painful moment.
I bet.
Basically, we don't do this one yet, but you can put a headset on the child, and they're taken to an experience that is cold. It's like the North Pole. So they're playing with snowballs. They're building, snowmen. And what happens is two things. First of all, the child is completely immersed in this experience, so he's distracted.
Sure.
And the other thing that happens is that for some reason, your brain recognizes this as a cold environment. So it sends a message to the rest of your body that it's colder than it believes it is. So it helps as an anesthesia with that tolerance for pain.
Isn't that okay? Can we just absorb that for a minute? How miraculous that is, and how amazing that we can use technology not only to, again, drug-free, a drug-free way of helping with pain and helping with just trauma that a child would be feeling, especially, obviously adults feel it too, but there's so much more tenderness in a child who we're trying to wrap up their memories to package them up in a way that they can, continue on with life without feeling like they have this, this thing hanging over them. That's so amazing.
And you mentioned that you were in a wheelchair. It's even being used by people that have lost their, their sensation in their legs or arms. They use headsets, and then they use these haptical suits that kind of have a like a reverberate, like basically it gives them like a feedback.
Wow.
So it kind of retrains your brain to remember what it is or what it feels like to walk. And several of the patients that are doing this treatment have already reported that some sensation is returning to their extremities. So, this has amazing potential. Another example that I'd love to talk about is with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
It can be used for Alzheimer's patients that are in a very, very nervous state, or they're in one of those episodes where they're just really uncomfortable. There are certain experiences they can put on that might help them calm down.
Okay.
But for the family members, there's actually an experience where they can put a headset on and experience, even only for a couple minutes, a simulation of kind of how someone with Alzheimer's views the world.
Wow.
So that helps someone that doesn't have Alzheimer's at least try to begin to better understand what their father or their mother or their sibling is going. Because I think that when we have this, with this technology, we have the power to teletransport and to really walk in someone else's shoes.
Right.
And I think that those are the applications that, that are going to make things amazing. So.
And I see Mr. Greg Walker in the house. Greg, it's good to see you, honey. Thank you for being here. Okay, we have so much that we have to cover, so I'm trying to keep Cathy's voice, but I have to touch on this because you just sparked something in me, Cathy, that, I don't know if you know that my son has some learning disabilities. He also has Asperger's. And so with his learning disabilities, like with dyslexia and different stuff, people often don't understand other people's thinking styles. They don't understand what dyslexia is. So do we see a future for VR to be able to help us experience those things of what other people might be, how they see things differently, that we might maybe even be more, sympathetic or, compassionate towards challenges that people
There's a big correlation between VR and empathy. I mean, some people overplay it, to be honest.
Okay.
But there is a big correlation. And if you can create an experience where you actually show someone what it could look like, to see the world in a different way. Right. That's huge.
Oh
so,
my gosh. Wow.
I'll give you an example. My first real valid, I would say, virtual reality experience was called Confinement.
Okay.
As a Guardian. And it's an experience where you put your headset on. You are taken into a 3 feet by 6 feet solitary confinement cell. Something, I don't know. It's just very, very small.
Right.
A very small confinement cell. It was 2 meters by 4 meters, but whatever that is in feet. And you're taken in here, and solitary confinement prisoners spend 90% of their time in these. And I was in there for, I would say, probably 3 minutes. And within 3 minutes, I had to take the headset off because I was claustrophobic.
Oh my God.
And a few things happened. And I said, wow. I literally walked in someone else's shoes. It generated a lot of empathy for me for something that I didn't really know I cared about, but it created empathy in me. And I think that is extremely powerful. And I don't mean to, monopolize the conversation, but
no, hey girl, this is all about you.
But when I was at CNN, one of my jobs was to watch all the raw footage that was coming in from Iraq. So I had part of my job was to sit down and watch the beheadings and watch the bodies of soldiers being dragged through Baghdad. That's part of my job.
Carnage. Just having to watch.
Horrible, raw stuff. Even some Katrina stuff is horrible. So when you work in something like that, you kind of turn your humanity switch a little bit off.
Sure. Right.
And it wasn't until I had that experience in VR that I had this thing that I caught myself and I said, wow, it's like I'm turning it back on. And that's the moment that, Vicki, that is the moment when I said, this is what I want to do. This is my career path. This is really what I meant to do in virtual reality, augmented reality, whatever, in the realities. That is kind of where I decided, this is where I pivot. And that's when I said, I'm going all in because I feel this is it for me.
Oh my gosh. Well, I know we have a couple questions and Barb Tomlin's the house, but I want to ask one more thing. When you were talking about that 3x6 confinement or what, that sounds like a scared straight kind of program. Like like kids maybe that are on the wrong path, that we could say, hey, this is what it's like. And that could wig them out in a different way than, the other way that people are kind of trying to scare them straight. What do you think about that? Is that something that's going on yet, or?
It is, because it'll stay with them. It stays with you in a really weird way. When you do one of these experiences that is like that. It's been used to treat people with phobias, like arachnophobia. Okay. To expose them to their fears in a way that's not threatening. I mean, it's threatening. Right. Spider's not really there,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But it gives you the shivers anyway.
For foot soldiers with PTSD that are coming. I mean, we with virtual relief, we definitely use it for that.
Wow.
To help them kind of calm and seek, kind of that peacefulness. Even for, homebound seniors that haven't left their house in a year, 2 years, if you can bring them a headset and they can go to Hawaii and walk in the sand,
Right.
I mean, that is, to them, those minutes that they're in that experience are precious.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely. There's so many people. And, Matthew is asking a really great question. Is there any adaptation for the blind? Obviously, virtual reality is immersive, and you're talking about haptic suits where, there's some kind of feedback going on. Do they have anything that to engage for the blind yet?
I know that they're working on something, and you should definitely ask this to Robert Scoble because he went down to South Africa. And some of the things that he was able to experience down there are fantastic from the eye perspective. He met with a very famous eye doctor. So definitely talk to him. But I do know there's an experience that has been, I don't know if it was Can or it was Tribeca or which one it was, but it's called Notes on Blindness.
Okay.
Notes on Blindness is kind of an experience that kind of shows you a little bit of what it is to be blind. So, it's obviously not for blind people. It's for people that need to get a better understanding what it is like to be someone that's blind.
Right.
But still, definitely ask that question to Robert when he's here, because he, like I said, what he got to do in South Africa was just mind-blowing.
Yeah. Well, and I am excited about having him for sure, because as you and I both know, he's got his finger in pies of the future. Like, I mean, he doesn't just have it right here. He is he has his finger in the pie, and I love that he has his finger on the pulse, and he's so excited and willing to share it and communicate it and connect people with it, because it's part, just like you were saying, when the day you decided this is your passion, you were like, I'm all in. This is it. Michael said we should have been in Iraq in the okay, well, we're not going to go in, we're not going political right here.
It's nothing political. It's part of my job. Okay.
That's that. Anyway,
I saw Katrina, I have nothing to do with the war in Iraq or Katrina. I had to watch the footage. That's all.
And I see Barb Tomlin's house. I think I said hi to her already, but I'm not sure if I missed you, Barb. Hey girl, it's so good to see you. Okay. So really quick, we know community is a super important part, so we're going to really quickly, Randall's going to pop something up for the, a group that I have called the Entrepreneur Rockstars, because it's all about community. And then we're going to talk about the VR, AR community, Cathy, and how you got involved and how connected it really is. So if you guys are looking for a community to belong to, Entrepreneur Rockstars is my Facebook group, and we would love to have you. We'd love to have you come in a safe environment where we want to give at least as much as we get. Now, people have asked before, what if I'm not an entrepreneur? That's okay. It's not that we're trying to keep only entrepreneurs in there. We just want people that are not there just to slap up a flyer and go away. We want people to contribute and be part of a community. So if that's you, go to VickiFitch.com and click the freebies button, and then you can join our Entrepreneur Rockstars group. We'd love to help you with social media, live streaming, AR, VR, technology, information. We're there to support you. And so again, VickiFitch.com/freebies. We'd love to have you. And we do have cameo appearances on many of the episodes where you can pop in and share a little bit about your business with the audience that's here. So we appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. And hopefully Cathy we gave her voice a 15-second rest. And we're going to dive back in until we're basically going to suck the life out of Cathy. As long as she can speak, we're going to talk to her.
As long as I can do it. Yeah. As long as I can do it, I'll do it.
And if she can't, then I'll make something up. That's what we'll just go to making things up. I'm just kidding. Okay. So Cathy, you told us about the moment that you decided you want to do it, but what got you started in the first, was it because of CNN, because of a different piece? What got you to this place? Because, what did you do before? Kind of, edge us up into your technology, your background, and what pushed you into this field.
I worked in journalism for many years, like I said. Then I switched over to PR and social media. And I was very much in the live video space. And I went to, it was my chance, I got invited to go to a journalism interactive conference. And when I went is when I really had that real experience. And it was after that moment that I said, that's it. I love live video, but my thing is different. So I kind of pivoted, and I pivoted very, it wasn't subtle. Like I did it very quickly.
Okay.
It was very, I think people would notice that it was intentional.
Right.
So I pivoted into it. And one of the things, so I started just educating myself on everything I could.
Mm-hmm.
and then trying to learn, trying to get connected.
Mm-hmm.
Started doing a lot of research and started, learning what I needed to do to actually be in VR.
Sure.
And I've been able to, I come from a communications background, but I've been able to learn some basic coding.
Okay.
Some coding, and I'm starting to do design things in Unity, which is one of the game engines.
Wow.
And
wait, I'm bowing again real quick. Just real quick. I'll throw another little bow in there.
I'm hoping to get Unity certified in either April or June. So I'm not just talking the talk. Like I'm walking the walk. I work with one of the top virtual reality studios in the world.
Okay.
And we are, there's so much I can't share right now.
Okay.
I wish I could share because we've got amazing stuff coming on. Like,
right. We all want to pry into that.
My life is evolving and changing, and what I'm trying to do with the studio is, I do their communications, but I'm also starting to get more into production.
Okay.
Because I want to create more content. I want to produce. I used to be a producer in television. So, so it's just a combination of things. So, people ask me, like, how do I get started? I'm like, well, 360 video is the easiest way to get started.
Okay.
Easiest way to get in. Let's say to get in if you want to start doing that. 360-degree video normally is easy. Oh yeah, I've got that one too. Awesome. Sorry, I just saw.
That's okay. Stacy's showing the 360 camera that she won when she was at Summit Live, and that she got that for free. And so she's but in the green room showing. She's trying to make me jealous. That's what it is. She's making me a little jelly. Anyway, that's okay. Go ahead. So I've
got the Insta 360. I've got the Samsung 360. So 360 video is easy. Making VR and AR content, not so much.
Right. I don't even know how you do that.
You have to have certain skills for that.
Okay.
So that's where I said, that's it. Like, I'm going to learn to do this. And that's kind of like, it's amazing what we're doing at Future Lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Our latest, we did a branded campaign that's slowly becoming one of the go-to case studies for branded VR, which just yesterday we got the metrics, and we already hit in 6 weeks, we hit 14 million views on a virtual reality campaign.
Wow. And are you the one that put that campaign together, Cathy?
No, I came in towards the end. So I was towards the end, but the newer projects, I'm definitely going to be kind of part from the ground up doing them. So yeah, it's just impressive, the things that are moving and changing and it's content. It's about content. It's about entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And from a VR perspective, because everyone's like VR versus AR.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really about that. It's a spectrum of technologies. It's all mixed reality.
Mm-hmm.
VR is going to be definitely for entertainment purposes, education, medical, military, you name it. It's going to be great use for that, especially for entertainment. Eventually, and I work with a very famous Spanish filmmaker. He always tells me his example. He says, eventually, I'm going to be able to, in my living room, put on a headset. My husband's going to be able to put on a headset. And we're both going to be able to go into a movie like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And I'm going to be able to live it from Angelina Jolie's perspective, or Brad Pitt if I choose.
I'm going to look like her too at the same time. I'm just saying I'm going to look like her too.
Yeah, you're like, so you're going to be able to have this experience. Aaron.
Aaron dropped in the house.
Woo-hoo! Go ahead. You're going to have this dual experience when you're watching this movie. And people don't realize it, that it's.
I can't quite fathom it, except that you're on a date, right? Now you're shooting your date.
And this is the thing, because it's already happening in multiplayer VR.
Right.
There's the Void does amazing things. They've got the 4D experience up in New York and been down to Sods with Ghostbusters. And basically, I did it the other day. I went with a friend of mine. It's her first time doing VR. Like. She literally chose the Cadillac of VR to start. So she goes in with me. We're both, it's literally just a room. You just don't see it because you're wearing a headset. You see kind of like a digital overlay, a digital world. And we're in this room and we're shooting ghosts. We're shooting the Marshmallow Man. They did it in such a way where you feel like you're going up and down an elevator, you're going on a bridge. You're not going anywhere. You're just literally in a room with four walls. But we're both having the same experience. But then again, it's a different experience.
Right. That's
So that multiplayer VR, multi VR experience is coming. It's changing the way we go to the movies.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? And as we're kind of talking about this, then we saw Mr. Aaron Roth came in the house, where this gives us an opportunity really quick to talk about some gear. And Randall's going to put up, if you guys are not using Archon Mounts gear, you guys have got to use it. You know, when I use my TW broadcaster every single day. Yeah, Cathy, hold on a second. You can show them. You know, there is, you guys have to get this equipment. You can do multiple units, and by going to archon.com and using my code FitchSlap from my other podcast, you guys save 20%. So make sure you go to archon.com. And again, that's the gear that the live streamers use. And Cathy's going to show you hers right now. She's going to be popping hers up right now and showing you that she is an Archon girl. Yeah,
it's even the gear,
right?
That people in VR use,
right? And it rocks. I have tried so many different pieces, haven't you, Cathy? And
I
they
don't
fall
know if Aaron's
over.
ever seen someone use their. I don't know if Aaron's ever seen someone use their 360 on an Archon mount. But
I don't know. Have you, Aaron? Right, preloaded. Yes, it's of course, Aaron. Aaron, have you not seen my shows? That's on every single show, my friend. Every show. He just noticed my preloaded graphic. But Cathy, yeah, I don't know if he's seen that. I have to say, I don't have a 360 camera yet, so I will have to practice putting it on top of that mount, because you can switch those pieces out. So that's what the Archon mounts makes it so handy, right? You just flip it out and stick one of those on there.
I used to use it for my phone for live video all the time. Now I use it for 360. So
that is fantastic. Oh, Cathy, you are like a wealth of information. So, okay. So what do you know, really quick too, you guys, so you know that we are giving away, Cathy is giving away a VR headset to you guys tonight. So we need you guys to grab this broadcast. There it is right there. It is ready to go home to you. You grab this broadcast. I want you to tweet it out on Twitter and use the hashtag CathyHVR. So CATHY, the letter H for her last name, and VR for virtual reality. CathyHVR. Use that hashtag. Somebody's going to win that at the end of the night. So definitely do that. Okay. Mia Chapin in the house. Welcome, darling. It's really appreciate you being here. Okay. So Cathy, how's your voice doing? Do we need to give you a break? Like, are you
good? I think I've got about 10 more minutes in it.
Okay. Well, we are going to, you guys throw your questions up there if you guys have some questions for her. And right now, what I'm going to do, you know, Cathy, you're giving away a VR headset, but if people want to get involved, if they want to start like a, you know, kind of walk into this game, where do they go? What would they do? And how much do you actually, is there free content people can download, or do you have to pay for content? I mean, is it like video games? Give us the scoop.
There's lots of free content, but I will tell you, I am starting a course, VR and AR for marketers. Did
you guys hear that? Cathy Hackl is telling you here first. She's starting a course.
Yes.
Okay.
Starting a course. I don't have a date yet. It'll be pretty soon. Okay. So if anyone's interested in finding out, sign up at, cathyhackl.com. Sign up for my newsletter and you'll get an email with the pre-sale. But yeah, because I do feel like there's a need. So.
And that guy, it's Cathy Hackl, CathyHackl. That's how you spell her name. No, there's no E at the end.
Yeah.
CathyHackl for those of you who are listening on the podcast. And you can look in the show notes and that kind of stuff. This information will be there, but cathyhackl.com, get signed up so you can find out what courses she have, what tips and tricks and stuff that she wants to share out. So
there's plenty of free content, the New York Times VR content, and you can just use any phone on like a universal headset. Okay. There is content that you have to pay for, but slowly, that's more for like the higher end headsets,
Okay.
But no, there's plenty of content. And this is the thing. There's only so many times I can watch a 360 video of someone flying over New York City.
Right.
Like one time, that's enough.
Right.
The novelty will wear off quickly when it comes. But that's why the more people experience VR, their palette's going to get a lot more refined. So that's where Future Lighthouse or companies like, the virtual reality studio I work with, that's where we come in, where we're creating content that is like nothing people have ever seen.
Okay. And really quick, you guys, when she's talking about all, this content, she's talking about these opportunities. Cathy, in that newsletter that you were talking about, do you send tips out to them, or are you planning on that, like some kind of newsletter so people can learn how to, go into different places and with all like the behind the scenes, like, hey guys, this is where you can get content and that kind of stuff? Is that part of that? Because I can see where people want to get on it.
That's part of it. It's also what I'm going to share in that newsletter is advancements in the VR and AR world that affect social media, that affect marketers.
Mm-hmm.
Because, if the latest game, if blah, blah, blah company puts out a great game, that doesn't really have an impact for our business.
Right.
But that's where I'm going to say, okay, hey, wait a second. Facebook 360 just launched. this is why you need to start thinking about it. It might not be something that you implement right away.
Sure.
Because your business that might not be there,
right.
But it's something that you need to keep your eye out, and this is how you do it.
And keeping them aware of what's coming, right? And what's the new things that are coming, and how, like you said, how they can use it for business. It's coming from somebody who's an expert in the field, you know. And I really loved what you said earlier, because I'm a big proponent. A lot of people complain about the word expert and this and that. And I'm not saying you called yourself one. I call myself an expert in my industry. I call, you know, the operational definition of expert is someone who has a more understanding than the average person. Mm-hmm. You have immersed yourself. Like you said, I'm taking this course, I'm doing this. You're not toying with the idea. You are diving in, finding out, you're spending time with the people that understand this even better than you do, so you can become an expert. Not saying you're the expert and the only one to talk to, but saying, hey, come ask me your questions. If I don't have the answers, I'm going to find them. I'm going to find who has them, right?
Yeah. And that's part of the, you know, I love teaching people. I love teaching people about things. And this is one of those opportunities where I'm like, okay, this is how it's going to impact social media. Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah. And I'm hoping, you know, at Social Media Marketing World next week, I'm hoping to have that conversation with a lot of people. So
right. And you and I are definitely going to connect for sure.
Yes.
And I'm not, they can check me out in my hollow gear or whatever. And Stacy, just so you know, I had my iPad up when I was doing some comments, but it went down. So you're going to have to definitely keep me aware of those comments so I can get that back up. So, you know, Cathy, I want to make sure we get in things that you want to share. You know, tell us what is it that you want to share with the audience? Like, if you know, is there something that's really on your heart, on your mind, you know, something that you want to definitely give the audience and tell them?
We're moving towards a contextualized reality.
Okay.
Where we're all
contextualized reality. Yeah. Will you explain that to people?
This is what I mean by that. So we're all eventually going to be wearing a headset, whether glasses or contact lenses. And these devices, you know, basically. So where I'm going with this is basically right now you go out to dinner with your friends. And you're like, you know, blah, 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 blah. You're looking at your phone, you're looking at your friends, you're looking at your phone. So there's that disconnect. Mm-hmm. And with this next evolution of what's coming with augmented reality, mixed reality, whatever you call it, we're going to be wearing either glasses or contact lenses. And I'm going to be able to look you in the eye. I'm going to be able to have a conversation with you. But at the same time, that device that I do have on is going to contextualize my reality. Wow. So it's going to be able to tell me certain things. So let's say I'm having coffee with you at Starbucks. And let's say I'm diabetic, which I'm not. That device is going to know me so well that's going to be able to tell me that the new pumpkin spice latte frappuccino, whatever new Starbucks has out, it's going to be able to tell me that I should not be drinking this because it has too much sugar.
Oh my, okay, wait. I just like, you got your mom already attached to your, no, honey, you cannot.
It'll tell you, like, this has this many calories, this much sugar. You may able to have like a little red thing that says, no, you shouldn't think about it.
What about, will it test your blood alcohol level so those people who are drinking a little bit more and say,
hey.
And don't go with Rico Suave because you've had too many drinks.
Yeah. That's awesome.
We thought
I know, for example, you do a lot of networking.
Okay,
I know you do a lot of networking. So with these headsets, eventually they're going to connect to your LinkedIn, let's say. And instead of you having to ask, hey, who's this guy in this picture from LinkedIn?
Right.
I need to talk to the CEO of whatever, your potential client. This headset is going to be able to do face recognition. It's going to be able to tell you, you're going to be seeing their little profiles walking around, and you're going to be able to flag them.
Love it.
So you're going to be able to say, okay, I need to talk to this person, I need to talk to this person. So you talk to this person, you finish talking to them, and then you look over and you see the little red thing you tapped. And you go and talk to the other person. You already know their name.
Wow.
It's already going to show you their job, the job description or the title. So it's going to change the way we do business. It's going to change the way we network. It's going to change a lot of things. And that's what people, I don't think, have really put a lot of thinking into.
Right. Well, and that's what makes it so exciting, right? That it's not just, a lot of people look at it for gaming. They don't looking at it for this broad spectrum of connecting and understanding and learning, even learning things like skiing or, surfing, or, I mean, it's just a whole new level of things.
There's surgery simulations where a medical student can practice a surgery 1 million times before they go in to actually practice a surgery on a human.
Isn't that crazy?
That is going to help reduce human error.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So there's just a lot of different applications for it. And even as simple as this, the day my parents are not here with me, I hope to God that I'm able to do a 3D scan 360 video of them. So that when they're gone, I'm going to be able to have a hologram of them, and I'm going to be able to sit down and have coffee with them. As weird as that seems. Yeah. But I'm going to be able to see them, because memories right now, we save our memories in 2D. Yeah. In paper, 2D, on screens. Yeah. But when you think of your grandma, let's say my grandma passed away, for example, do I really remember the way her hair curled this way? Or do I really remember her little dimple on this side? Right. I kind of do. Right. But with 360, with holographic images and 360 3D video, I'm going to actually be able to be there with her. Yeah. Even though she's not here. Yeah. And that's like, I film my daughter in 360 because I want those memories in 360.
I think that's fantastic. I've lost both of my parents. So what I wouldn't give many times, to, whether it's, I can tell you, I have a day when my mom passed away, right before she passed away, she didn't tell, she had cancer multiple times, and she didn't tell us that she was really sick again. And I remember her not feeling well. And I actually have a picture of me on her bed with her that I put in the memorial album I did. And I wrote this poem and a song for her. But I remember, like, I'm going to get weepy right now. Like, I would give anything to have that of my mom, because it was that moment. It's just that moment, even though you don't know how sick she is, like, this is my mom, this is it. This is her. And I love her. And, no matter how many things happened when we were younger, this is, this is her. This is her. And so that's just so, I never even thought of that until you said it, but wow.
I mean, it's not the real person. It's someone saying it's spooky, Yeah. And I understand that it does sound weird, but wouldn't you want, it's just a hologram. It's not the real person. Right. But if I can keep that one memory of her sitting down and having coffee with me, when people pass away, some people listen to their voicemails constantly over and over because they want to listen to their voice. Yeah. So it's kind of the same concept, So I'm starting to save a lot of my memories in 360 because I want them in 360.
If I could lay on a bed when I'm crying and I'm sad and have my mom sitting next to me, like laying there next, it's a hologram. It would just remind me that I'm loved, whether it doesn't matter if she's here or not. But people can call me spooky or creepy or call that creepy, but I think that would be like me taking the scrapbook right now, which is what I do, and sit, and then I let my tears flow because it's my pressure cooker. That's how I let things out. And I think that would be really cool. So I totally get that. I haven't done it, so can't say whether it is cool or not, but I think it would be amazing, and I love the idea and that concept of, I'm sure there's going to be more and more people producing different opportunities for people, video weddings in 360. So
there's already weddings in 360.
Right?
Yeah. If anyone's watching and they want a good business opportunity, start filming those weddings in 360. Yeah. You can charge premium for this.
Right?
Now.
I would pay it. I would pay it. Like, imagine like you're looking up at the sky when the doves are flying or this or that. I think it's fantastic.
One of my favorite VR experiences, it's not even my wedding. I don't even know the people that were getting married. It was so much fun. Oh, I was at their wedding.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Well, let's remind the people again, we'll try and wrap this up, but you guys, just to let you guys know that we are giving away a VR headset in just a couple of minutes. So grab this broadcast, right? Share it, tweet it out on Twitter, and use the hashtag CathyHVR, CATHY. HVR. Okay. And I think somebody's going to post it in the chat box again for you. Marietta says she's thinking Star Trek Next Generation Data with Lieutenant Tasha. I'm sorry. That just brought back some memories. And that is, that's funny. That's super funny. But it is. Things are different and things are changing. And we're just really excited about that. And then while people are getting that last tweet out again, Cathy HVR, you guys send that tweet out because I'm going to grab a tweet draw in a second. We know that there is a quote. Randall, do you have that quote of Cathy's that you can pop up really quick? Is that we always pull a quote from somebody. And I loved Cathy's and there it is. Stop talking and start executing. Was that yours, Cathy?
Yes, someone said that to me.
Right? Because
I'm anonymous because I can't share it who it is.
Right.
Someone that gave me some really good advice, and he said, "Stop talking and start executing." Okay.
it's like, boom, there's just not a lot. It's so much meat, right? There's not a lot of milk there. It's just like, stop talking and start executing. So while I go check out and do the tweet draw really quick, why don't you share something with everybody here, whether what that means to you or something that you want them to know, and I'll pull up the tweet draw and we'll do that drawing and wrap it up.
Yeah. That quote was given to me by a good friend at a point where I wasn't sure. I was like, I want to do VR, but how do I do this? And I was, doing some speaking engagements, and, I felt like I was being fake. I mean, I wasn't being fake, but I felt like I was like, well, really, why am I talking about this if I'm not really doing it?
Right.
And he said to me in Orlando, he said, stop talking and start executing. And that's when I said, okay, I need to pull back. I need to learn Unity. I need to learn these things and execute. And that's what I'm doing now.
Well,
so, and then I'm better for it. I'm a better person for it. So.
Well, and I think that we all need that a little bit. And we didn't get a really chance to talk about how impactful and how powerful it is that you're part of the Latina community, and that you've really shown women how to step up and stand out in that arena as well. Is that you're in a high tech arena which has been basically male dominated, right? I mean, it's a fairly new industry, and yet it's not. The tech space has been around for a long time, and it's been very male dominated.
Yeah.
And here you are. Not only are you a female just jumping in there, now you're also a Latina and people are going, hey, this is really cool that she's not worried about being a woman. She's not worried about being a minority. She's not worried about she's just there. She's showing up, she's plugging in, and she's kicking butt.
And people are noticing. That's the thing. I mean, I get calls. I got a call this week. I got invited to do a talk in Russia.
Are you going to practice your Russian, or do you get to speak English?
Yes. So I got invited to do a talk in Russia. I got invited to do a talk in Italy this week. Just a few weeks ago.
I'm feeling jealous again. Stop.
A whole speaking tour through Latin America, because people know, like, this person can do it in English perfectly, or she can do it in Spanish perfectly. Right. She knows her stuff.
Right.
And, let's have a different voice. Right. And that's why I think it's important.
Yes.
To give people different voices.
Right.
It's great. I think there's plenty of amazing men that are crushing it in tech. But always try to also give people that are different a voice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and like I said, you have that multiple talent, and you're very hard hitting, and yet you're very soft. You're a mom of 3 kids, and yet you just play so many roles. You give so much depth to, honestly, again, not stereotyping, but what a lot of people consider a dry community, not a dry business, like not VR and AR, but a dry community. Like, people are more muted. They create these things, and they're just kind of, they consider them kind of stuck in a box. And then they look at you saying you're coding, you're doing that, and they're like, what? She's hot. She's, sweet. She's funny. She's sassy. Like, you got this whole package rounded up. And of course they're calling you. I'm sure if people are listening to this now, they're like, how do I reach that girl? So let's call them again before we are going to put your social media card up where people can take a screenshot, and we will have stuff as well on, it's going to be, interview will be out on YouTube. It'll be out here on Facebook. It'll be at VickiFitch.com. It'll be on Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, Stitcher. So people will have a lot of access, but why don't you tell them again the best way to reach you, Cathy? Where do you want them to contact you?
Definitely go to cathyhackl.com.
Okay.
So it's cathyhackl.com.
Okay.
Sign up for my newsletter. I think that's going to be beneficial to people that are interested. And then just reach out to me on social media. Add Cathy Hackl on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere.
She's Cathy Hackl with remember, Hackl. Do not be the person that adds the E on or the EL.
I'm vowelly challenged. We have no vowels in our last name. So, yes.
Well, you have one vowel. A is a vowel.
Well, yes, but there's no I or E at the end.
Right.
Yeah, there is one vowel, yes.
I know. People are starting to go, wait, there's no vowel? Wait.
There's no vowel? No, we're vowelly challenged. We only have one vowel. There you go.
I love that.
All right, and I think I have to shut her down.
Yeah, we're just gonna wrap it up. As a matter of fact, you don't actually have to say anything anymore. I'm just gonna kind of wrap this part up and say, you guys, first of all, thank you so much for being here, Cathy. You are fantastic. We really, really appreciate you being here. I want to, remind you guys that I do my 2 podcasts per week. I'm sure you guys remember. He Said, Red Said on Monday nights, and then we also do Vicki Fitch Live, Fresh Perspective. Next Wednesday on Vicki Fitch Live, we have no show because of social media marketing world, although we might have a live performance from Cathy Hackl, and I'll definitely have one from Owen Video, who's also coming up on He Said, Red Said in a few weeks. And we are still on the hunt for he. So if Randall could pop that up, I am interviewing interviewing guests. If you haven't been called yet, message me. We are interviewing people on the hunt for he. So if you guys are interested in being, if you're sassy, if you can handle a little heat from Red, then you guys make sure you go to redsaid.com, click the button that says that you're interested in being my new he. So I am married, but this is a he on air, right? So you guys check that out. We'd love to have you certainly put that out. And then the following week, we do have Mr. Joe Girard coming up. Actually, well, this coming up week, we have Joe Girard, and Joe is the male version of me. And so he is hilarious. If you guys have not met this guy, he is freaking hilarious. And, you know, if I do say so myself, since he's like the male version of me, I think you're really going to enjoy the show. It's there. It is showing on March 20th. Definitely be there. And we are going to, like I said, I do have the winner here that we know that who won this. And so I'm going to do that and tell you guys right now, drum roll. If I turn my camera around, I'm afraid that we'll lose it. But drum roll, please. Danella Craft Designs. Vincenzo Landino in the house. Marietta, you won, girl. You won the VR headset. Jennifer Quinn, welcome. Yes, Jennifer. Jennifer, welcome to the broadcast. So, Marietta, you won the VR headset from Miss Cathy Hackl, Cathy Hackl Consulting. Send me a message and I can get her information to you so we can get that sent out to you. And we really do appreciate you guys being here. It has been awesome. Yes, you won, girl. So if you're not going to use it, make sure you find somebody else that will, because we are expecting a live stream of you in your gear. I'm just saying, or we're expecting something. We want to see you in your gear, right? Because if I'm going to get in all leather and put on the I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but we'll see. It could happen at Social Media Marketing World. Anthony Conklin in the house. Welcome. Patrice, welcome to the broadcast. So you guys, Cathy, did you have any parting words that you wanted to say to them? She's shaking her head, you guys. She's out. But I'm going to put up her show card here really quick, and then I'm going to introduce myself. She's got to go. Poor Cathy. She is such a trooper. The fact that she came here, I think, Randall, you have to kind of reset me when she bumped out of that picture because I'm getting my head's cut off, Randall. Hello. Randall's going to reset you guys in a minute, but until he does, you guys, I want you guys to know that this is a great opportunity, I think. Okay, so we're having a couple tech difficulties. So you can see Stacy's hair, you can see my shoulder, and Cathy's show card. So anyway, yeah, it's a little interesting behind the scenes here because we like to have fun. But I want you guys to take a screenshot of that because my shoulder is very sexy and Stacy's eyeball is totally hot. And this way you can at least see Cathy Hackl's social media card. You can take a screenshot of that so you know how to reach her. And then I hope that Randall gets me back on screen because this is a little bit of an important part. I could try and tuck my face. Let's see if I can tuck my face right here. Hi, guys. Hello. How are you? Well, I'm just going to stay right here for a minute and say, hey, if you guys, for those of you who are downloading this on iTunes and Stitcher, you definitely want to check out episode 30. What are we on? 32, 33, 32 with Miss Cathy Hackl because this ending right here is hilarious. I'm still squunched down because I can only go back so far, Randall. You're gonna have to fix me, but I'm squunching down so I can try and look at you guys. But guys, my name is Vicki Fitch. I am a direct sales expert. I've been in the industry 20 years, top 10 sales and recruiting internationally for more than a decade. I am an author, a speaker, and an international business consultant helping you get outside the 5,000 to turn your passion into your profits. Now, I am also quite an entertaining host. If you ever have an event that you're worried about won't go quite right, I'm your girl. I can go ahead and fill in. We'll make sure that things are humorous, if nothing else. So guys, I do appreciate you guys being here. I do live stream every day, and my point is to try and deliver value to you. If you guys need to level up your business, if you guys are looking for somebody to help you with anything from sales to social media or anything in between, go to VickiFitch.com/20. That's VICKIF as in Frank, ITCH.com/20. I'd love to give you a free 20-minute consultation and help you to build your business and your brand. Randall is going to go ahead and, again, put my social media card up to you guys in just 1 second, but I really appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you putting up with some of our technical difficulties. I am going to reply to your comments. And again, if you guys think you're a good fit for the show, either Vicki Fitch Live, A Fresh Perspective, Vicki Fitch Live, where we do a Vic the Bully in your head, or He Said, Red Said, I'd love for you guys to go fill out an application and let us know. There's going to be a link in the show notes. Please let us know. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Follow me on social media so I can deliver some value to you each and every day. And until next time, I want to remind you, like I always do, to dream it, believe it, and achieve it.